Hi, you guys. Leanne Holitza here at the Healing Studio in Broomfield, Colorado. I am super excited for a new class that we are bringing forward to you guys. This is Michael Brand. He is a board certified health and wellness coach and the creator of SomaxNuma. This is a stretch and movement training. And so, therefore, those of you who are not local, you probably won't benefit from this class. But if you are in the area, we would love it if you came and had this experience with us. We're going to talk to Michael today a little bit more about what he's bringing to the healing studio and why he created this class. But just sit back and have an open mind that this might be something that you might want to add to your practice. So hi, Michael.
Hey, how are you? Thank you for this time. I'm really excited to share about all of the great things that we're doing with this class and how it can benefit people. It's going to be awesome.
Yay. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to do it. So you were explaining to me just a moment ago why you named the class the way you named it. So I'm going to give you a chance to tell me that once more time for so everybody can get in on this sequence.
Yeah, yeah. So Soma ex Numa is just a combination of two Greek words for body and soul, Soma and Numa. And so we just put those two things together just to kind of merge two concepts that people are more than just a body and they're more than just a mind. We're both of those things and even more at one time. So what we do with Soma ex Numa is take those two concepts. How do we work our physiology? How do we work our neurology? Our psychology, our emotions, and our feelings. How do we work all of those things together in a way that brings regulation and good feeling and just, positive vitality? So that's the goal for Soma X Numa is feeling good in your body and mind.
Nice. So let's back up just a little bit and get to know you a little bit better. You have a
Sure.
background in psychology and health coaching. How did that influence the creation of this class?
Yeah, so a lot of my experience is in behavioral health, and so of course doing that kind of work with individuals, helping them learn how to regulate better coping skills, manage their lifestyle, manage their health and care of their body. It just kind of built those skills, and as I struggled against every effort I could to become a counselor, I'm so thankful that coaching came along because it allowed me to take those skills and use it for coaching, which I love the work that counselors do, but I also love the work that coaches do and being able to work with maybe a little bit of a broader subset of individuals and bringing some of those necessary skills to that population who may not be exposed to them because they feel like, oh, my life's not in a crisis. Nothing's wrong with me. I don't need counseling, so I'm not going to go to that, right? And so this is a way to kind of backdoor in some of those skills and coping mechanisms. But the biggest thing is 60 to 90%, some research suggests 60 to 90% of all primary care visits are lifestyle related. And oftentimes that has to do with stress. And stress is one of my big crusades. I want to help people understand how to manage stress, process stress, recognize stress, stay in a performance range of stress as opposed to a constant state of distress. And that's what a lot of these classes are designed to do. It's designed to help you bring that regulation in. And so working with people who are in distress made me think about how people who just are in the throes of their day-to-day life, but don't always experience the crisis the same way, but need to learn how to manage the stress better. We can all benefit from these practices. So how do we bring it to the masses? Well, let's put it in a class and, advertise it as an alternative to yoga, maybe. Who knows?
Nice. So here at the Healing Studio, we are all about self-healing is and self-care and that it's sacred time that everybody should be making time for. I don't really like the word should, but it's good for us all to do. And we love offering a variety of different healers and opportunities to work with our own thing that we're into, right? I'm into this kind of self-care, so I'm going to do it because I'm motivated to do it. I'm just
Sure.
curious, what's your philosophy around healing and self-care?
Yeah, so as a non-clinical practitioner, I definitely draw lines and boundaries between what's clinical work and what's not clinical work, right? So in this case, healing is about real-time processing, prevention, maintenance, those things that build resiliency that make us a little more able to manage some of those things. So, for instance, some of the work we do in this class is we do a lot of work trying to change our thoughts, right? I need to change this negative thought to a positive one. Okay, great. I succeeded in doing that. But guess what? You already thought the thought, and guess what now? Your body has already stored that somewhere. What are you going to do with the stress that's stored there, right? So how do we process it all out completely to where, I can relax at the end of the day, or I can have a clear mind, or I'm not dealing with a sense of being disconnected from myself because there's still some sort of response that I owe to myself, right? So in this case, healing is about giving yourself permission to give yourself what's owed to you by you, and doing that in real time, and forgetting what's around you in those moments that you needed, but being able to do it in a way that's sustainable. It regulates, it relaxes, and it keeps you in a performance range of stress where you can feel confident, have clear thinking, manage the problem as you manage yourself better.
Nice. So you described this class as a dual body fitness experience. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, so again, merging those two concepts of mind and body, soma and numa, and really just bringing that relationship forth, right? So we often will go to the gym and then we'll go to counseling, but we don't necessarily correlate those two works, right? And some people might only do one or the other.
Mm,
So in this case, again, non-clinical work, but what we're doing is merging those two concepts of how does my body relate to my mind, my neurology, my psychology, and vice versa. What are the cues that each send to each other in terms of responses, stress responses, regulation, down regulation, and we can get into all kind of theories there, vagal, whatever, and all this kind of stuff. And it's really good. And we're going to explore all of that in these classes. But the real goal is to bring that relationship and those connections, make them stronger. So when I'm feeling activated in my body, but I can't quite place it in my mind, why? I can maybe connect those two things together and then bring some cohesion or some relief if necessary, or that healing that you talked about. And so again, just bringing that awareness to those connections, and treating yourself as a whole person in your self-care and workout routine. So we combine physiology, a little bit of neurology, a little bit of psychology, a little bit of loving on ourselves, self-compassion, and those kinds of things, to connect all of these ideas.
great. So it's is there exercise involved?
There is some light stretching and movement. I say it's low intensity is the way that I describe it. So you don't have to have any certain sort of skill level. We're not doing any things that are going to be very much dealing with like balance postures or things like that. But we are going to move our body in terms of learning how to make those connections. Your neurology, your nerves that run all the way through your body. Your body is your main source of information, right? So moving your body is a way to kind of reconnect to different parts of your brain, get you grounded, get you focused. So we combine that, some posture exercises where we're dealing with confidence poses, or just kind of self-compassion type poses. How do we love ourselves or give ourselves care? So the movements are much more low intensity in that sense. Most likely you won't break a sweat. You might break a tear, but it might be a happy tear, right? But certainly not going to break any sweat. And the whole goal of these classes is down regulation, right? So people don't always understand that exercise is good for us, but it's stressful and it's upregulating, right? And so we're oftentimes over activating our bodies in a physiological sense. And this is a way to learn how to counterbalance that and bring some, some safety, some more presence, some more mindfulness around those two connections.
So, what do people bring or wear to this class as far as getting ready for this work?
Yeah, so we recommend, just regular workout type clothes, athletic clothes, yoga clothes. But, I've done this work in professional settings and workshops, and so we may not always do the full stretching that we might do, but we will do some movement. And the whole goal of this is designed so you can incorporate these activities into your daily routines, whether you're sitting at your desk, you can pull an exercise from one of these classes. You can take some of this information and work it into a daily routine for yourself at the end of the day to relax and kind of put the day away. So there's a lot of uses for this. And so the movements aren't really going to be restricted by clothing, but in the setting of a wellness studio such as yours, you're probably going to feel more appropriate in some athletic type clothes or some loose fitting clothes, comfortable clothes, I might say, that you feel comfortable in, that you can feel comfortable in your own body in. And then also, do a little bit of movement, but again, low intensity, non-strenuous type of movements.
All right. So, if there's people who have limited movement, you can work with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're not doing anything that's going to be strenuous or out of the that would require a doctor's excuse or anything like that. No stress poses or anything like that that are designed to, like a yoga type, intense yoga type pose or something like that. So, yeah, it's designed for anyone and everyone to come and participate. And the goal is for you to feel relaxed, centered, and positive as you walk out the door.
Nice. So, just for anybody who's never done somatic work, what does that mean? What can they expect?
Yeah, yeah. I know somatic has kind of been kind of a catch-all word for a lot of things and has become more ubiquitous as health and wellness and self-care goes on. But really just think about it in terms of your body, right? And we think about our body in terms of our physical fitness for sure, or our physical health for sure, but we don't think about our body necessarily as the primary manifestation of our emotions and thoughts, right? So when we understand that, oh, to use maybe an example we can all get around is, oh, you get a text and you're not quite sure how to read it, right? But you read it and now all of a sudden you got this weird feeling in your body, right? Well, what do I do with that? How do I respond to that? What is that even? Why did the text make me think that or do that or feel that way? And then we just, talk about how to explore how to do those things and process that out, manage that in real time to see what that's about.
Excellent. So, I know at present time you have organized this class, at least at the Healing Studio, in a four themed session, but can somebody just attend one of them?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, each class has a little bit of its own theme, but you don't have to have the preceding class's knowledge or skills to be in the next class. In fact, there are some classes where we'll repeat some exercises, but each class does have its own focus. So the first week's class, as we've presented at the Healing Studio, is around, hey, how do I really learn how to connect with my body and just in terms of recognizing things about it. So we do a lot of work around body awareness and breath awareness and connecting those two things because your breath is often an indicator of what's going on inside of you. If I'm holding my breath often or throughout the day, that suggests there's some tension inside of me that I need to get rid of too, right? So we're going to talk about those connections, work with some of those exercises. Week two is stress and anxiety. So we're going to really focus on that physiological and neurological relaxation. Week three is about mindfulness, learning to be present, learning to react and respond to my five senses again. So that one's going to be a little more sensory in terms of some of the exercises that we do. It's a fun one. I love it. And it's a really great way to learn how to experience life again is mindfulness, right? And just being more present, smelling the roses type of thing. And then week four is all about confidence, right? How can I use my body to change my mood, create confidence, or create the confidence to say, this is my body and it has boundaries, right? And whether that is, a physical boundary that might be crossed and I need to say no to, or more often than not, for most of us, there's some kind of external thing that makes us feel icky in our bodies, and how do I get control of that back, right? And I want to be able to like feel that confidence again, as opposed to whatever happened when I walked by that construction site or whatever, right?
Great. So, just kind of in summary, what are you expecting people to walk away with after attending one of your classes?
Yeah, well, I'll just give you some of the feedback we've gotten so far, and that is a better feeling of relaxation, and not just laying back in a hammock, just sipping lemonade, relaxed, but in the terms of less aroused. Say my mind feels more calm, my body feels more calm, I feel more present, more centered. So that's been some feedback that we've certainly tried to program for, and we're getting that back. So that's good news. Other feedback we've gotten is about awareness. People are starting to use some of these skills to become more aware of themselves in real time. So it's less automatic thinking and responses or reacting, but more mindful and thoughtful consideration of what's going on. And so that's been great. And then, of course, the big one is just stress management, and just, people learning how to manage their stress in different ways, understanding that, hey, there's a tool for that, and there's a tool for that, and there's a tool for that, right? And the more tools that I have, and the more ways I can recognize when I'm stressed, then I'm much more able to regulate my stress and be more resilient to the things that might cause me stress. So resiliency, relaxation in the physiological, neurological sense, and then of course just a better sense of connection to themselves, which brings confidence and awareness and mindfulness and all those benefits that come with that.
Sounds lovely.
It's great. I love it. So I'm all about down regulation. If you can't tell, that's my vibe. I when I go to different gyms and stuff, they're like, "Hey, work out a little harder," and I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm just moving my body here. I'm fine."
Well, that's amazing. I am really excited for your class. If you guys want to come, go to the insightfulinspirations.com page and click on events. You're going to see when this next ones are coming up, and get yourself some more information about it and sign up for it if there's a spot for you. And I really encourage you guys to just explore different ways to do the things that you need to do for yourself, to heal. Makes you so much more available to your purpose, to your performances, to your life, to your connections and relationships. So I'm really excited about this class because I love this kind of work. And so I hope you guys come and see how much fun this can be, and not just all hard stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't all have to be 100% all the time. Let's go 100% towards relaxation too.
Totally, totally. All right, you guys, well, come check us out and
Please.
go be amazing.
Thank you so much, guys.